difference is not what you do, but how you do it. What is the opposite of arts? Not very consistent parts stitched together. Chaos instead of order. Lack of quality and consistency. Painful to create and to maintain. Probably painful to use. Doesn't reach its potential. Created without love. You'll know it when you see it. Just for example. It's not art.
Well, I have to be older.
Okay. Ted thinks it's art. The rest of us are like, we can improve it. If you're going to a restaurant, if you read it like this, it's not art.
My name's Devin. I think we're just thinking order.
Point being, again, art is in the execution. So now that we've covered what is art and what is a craft, we move on to comparing code. Okay, so for those of you who are not really following development, since last year, a year ago, pnMeeting, an incredible amount of work has gone into pn8. And we got milestone 1 out the door. Milestone 2 is getting close, and we will have a product relatively soon. But I think all of us who've worked on core devs have contributed in some way, shape, or form. Some people have the area of expertise. He does security. He's the Ajax man. I'm the DB-util guy. Mark does everything. So I think no matter what the result is there. The code is clean. It works. It's fast. We've done, in my opinion, a really good job in the last year. What we need to do now is finish it.
Promote.
We'll talk about that. So just to give you an idea, since last meeting, actually a bit later, I joined the list about a couple of weeks after the meeting. We've had 3,700 emails from core dev, which is pretty good for a group of about 25 people or so. About 30 people. So that's pretty good, given that this is not our full-time job, right? This is something most of us do in their spare time. There have been 5,400 commit notices, which does not, one commit notice does not equal one file. More files have been changed. But that's, for a small group, in my opinion, an incredible amount of work that's been done. All the modules are by now API compliant. All the modules are templated. The entire core and module base has been rewritten to use DB-util. More about that later. We basically have moved the util port working. More about that later. But at this point, it's not just a theoretical option anymore. We've always run on MySQL. At this point, we can run on Postgres. Frank is working on Oracle. I installed SQL Server with the Microsoft with the intent of trying it on there. So hopefully by the time we have .8 out, we'll have support for 3-4 databases. And with the inclusion of DB-util, porting to another database has become really simple. In terms of Postgres, the database layer needed 2 lines of changes and a few module initialization changes. But other than that, that was it. Oracle is a bit more complex because of the restrictions it imposes. But even that, through DB-util, it becomes relatively easy and painless to do that because you have a central place in which you can change your SQL, tweak your SQL, do whatever you wish. We have a new theme engine. New Xantia version is now based on pnRender. Mark wrote it or rewrote it. I'm not a theme guy. All I can say is it looks nice and I understand what it does, and pn8 is really fast. And I think one of the factors is the theme engine. Could be wrong, but we have a compact logging framework that actually just put into subversion about 1 to 2 weeks ago. The nice thing is the whole thing is now, it's not an external component anymore. It's self-contained in about 6 kilobytes, so it's configurable. You can say per component, I want to log to a file, I want to log to a specific file, and you will be able to say shortly, I want to log to the database. So in terms of logging, it's become very flexible, very configurable, it make sense to add logging?
Well, the pnMeeting tracker, for instance, now always